Claudia. Okay, Tasha, are you still here?
I am. Thank you
All
very much.
right.
It's a little loud in here, so hopefully you can hear me.
Okay, where are you zooming in from?
Portland, Oregon.
Okay, so you said, my question, how do you determine what goes into a membership and what is sold separately? Oh, this is a great question. You know, this marketers and business people fight about this. You know, this is a
I think
contentious
that's
topic.
have both of them in me fighting.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of opinions, but here's one thought is pretty much everything that's in my membership is available publicly. Spoiler alert. It's almost all somewhere on my website or my YouTube. So the information is of it. There is some stuff that's just in the membership, but that's more about confidentiality, recordings and sessions or things.
Yeah.
And some stuff is available paid publicly, but free in the membership. So then for me, the thought is that people are actually not really just paying for information. It's good to remember all the other things that people pay for. And actually, I don't think information is the most important thing. There's a very small percentage of the population that will take the info and just DIY it. But most people, what they really want, if it's a service, is to get from island A to B. Right. So what is your work? What's your thing?
We help overachievers stop trying to fix themselves so they can actually enjoy their life and build their businesses and their passion projects.
Okay, great. So they're like, I just really want to enjoy my life. I want to have a good life. I don't want to be working so hard and hating myself all the time. I just want to enjoy. And so they look at you and they say, how do I do it? And you say, well, I've got all these articles and videos. And they dive into them. Here's the hilarious part. The more they dive into, the more they want to work with you, not less. So then they say, okay, I get the idea, but I need some accountability. I need some external perspective. I like this theory, but I don't know how it translates to me. I mean, do you think that because I talk about niching all the time, we give away so much free content that translates into everyone just finding their niche? I wish it were so. I really do. But it doesn't. It's just people kind of get, oh yeah, niching is important. But what's mine? You know, I know this principle is important, but I know I need to have a movement practice, but what's the one that's going to work for me? And so we often just need some hand holding and some commiseration. We need some good company on the trip so we don't feel so lonely. And there's a lot of things that people need that it's not about the information. So I can only say what I've done. You know, the other thing I'll say is I would make a distinction in terms of content between, like I do these just walking around videos sometimes. I just turn on the camera. As little bite-sized nuggets, that's all public. The webinars where I've really put a lot of thought into it and it's 2 hours, that's not public for free. People have to pay for that and then it's included in the membership. So that's another way to divvy it up is like, okay, there's little bite-sized chunks and you can even take like clips from those paid things and share those on social media as little outtakes. What, you know, easy is the new free. Easy is the new free. People, even when I tell people, it's like, look, it's all there available for free on YouTube. I mean, except the webinars and maybe the ebooks, but like most of the ideas are there. A lot of people look at that and they're like, fuck, let me just sign up and get the help. Because they don't want to do it all on their own. They don't want to construct a course based on my content and do it by themselves. I mean, I don't know if you all know this, but these meditation retreats you can go to for 10 days, you could just do it at home. Nobody stop you. It's totally cool. The juice fasts, you can get a juicer. You can save money. But we go to these fucking places. Why? Because we want the occasion. It's like, okay, I'm going there. I know I'm going to do the juice fast. I'll have the support. I'll have the encouragement. I'll have, you know. So information to me is just the least important part. And I just believe in sharing the point of view. And everyone figures this different, how much stuff they give away for free. If it's going to be bite-sized content, I'm just like giving it away all day. But once I think I construct it into something coherent or robust, then I usually charge for it. I don't know if that helps them.
It does. Do you mind if I ask a quick follow-up about that? So we have a 5 pivot system that we walk our clients through to move out of this overachieving perfectionism kind of dungeon of thoughts and actions. And we've been consuming your content for the last month and a half like it's a fucking job. And one of the things that we have come to the conclusion is, and I shared this with you last month, is starting this starter kit or creating this starter kit, which I mean, just gave us so much freedom because we were on the other end of the spectrum of like selling every fucking little thing. And it just felt so tedious and not helpful to our ideal clients. And so in the effort to prepare them to work with us, using the first pivot and some of the fundamentals of helping them see that they have sorting themselves into essentially saying, yeah, I actually do want help with this. And I realize all the shit I've been doing with personal development books is not getting me anywhere, it's just making it worse.
Uh,
But we have master classes for each of the pivots to help people understand how to do it for themselves if they wanted to. And we don't know how much of that to give to an audience who's innately by default overwhelmed. And so we were thinking we have the signature workshop that we just happen to already have, that once we learned what it was, it made a lot of sense to use. And then the first pivot with some of the tools for that as the starter kit was my thought. To help them really, it's definitely our full perspectives, our philosophies that are unique, that is not something else out there. And then do we keep the other ones as self-paced?
You might, yeah,
Okay.
it's, part of this is there is a kindness of just not overwhelming people. Because sometimes we're generous, but in the wrong way.
We
So the
definitely
wrong-
almost did that.
Yeah. So I think with the starter kit, the whole point of the starter kit is that they understand your point of view, they understand your philosophy, they get context for why they're stuck where they're stuck. They get a basic map of how to, what elements they need to get from where they are to where they want to be. And maybe some very simple basic exercises. But like just the training wheel stuff, but often those exercises can be profound. Like I might say, an exercise I give a lot is I say, okay, imagine you're talking to your ideal client and it's 2 a.m. You've had a great night out. You're both exhausted. You're tired. All the big words are gone. And they look at you and they say, and you haven't talked business the whole night, even though you can help them. You could hit a home run helping them. And they look at you and they say, why am I so fucked up? And they ask this as their cab is pulling up. And so you're like, I got one sentence to say, but you can tell they want to know. So what do you say? That little vignette, that exercise I've given, and people come up with a statement. And then, oh my God, that's the core of my work. So even though it's a very simple thing, it often gives people some big aha moments. So you can do little things like that. But to me, the main point of the starter kit is to give them an overall coherent, this is how we see it, so you can know if it's a fit. It's more that than we're going to solve your problem. It's like we're going to give you our perspective on how this problem ought to be solved. And what to do and what not to do. In the chat, by the way, I'm putting a link here, live from Hoxton, creating your own starter kit. I was in London, I did a workshop. And in it, for the first time, I talked about this idea of starter kits. It's still not crystal clear in my head, but it's some ideas that may be useful to some of you. Does that help?
So helpful. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.